What up, Bundy Sports Network Wrestling here, BSN Wrestling, wherever. And gonna review WrestleMania 35, and here's my grade. It was a B minus show. It wasn't the best Mania of all time. It was better than last year because all I remember last year was the Nakamura match and like John Cena, Undertaker, and that's it. So this show was pretty damn good. Um, One thing didn't have Undertaker. That's the first time in 19 years he didn't have Undertaker. But other than that, I got the matches typed on a list on my phone, and let's read them. And I'm not the best at describing matches, but I'm gonna say every single match. I think there's like 17 of them. Jesus Christ. All right, so pre-show time. Tony Nese versus Buddy Murphy for the title. Buddy Murphy defends the title. Tony Nese wins. Who the fuck's Tony Nese? I don't like 205 Live. This was a background. I was making chicken wings. Tony East wins. It started out to be a New York onslaught at the moment. So, Tony East wins. Who gives a shit? I'm happy that SmackDown's going to have a third hour. So I don't have to see these jobbers on the network, which I don't. So at least we're going to have another hour of SmackDown. Women's Battle Royal. Carmella wins. I thought it was Nikki Cross. Sarah Logan looked like she was gonna win, but she eliminated Asuka, and then it turns out that Carmella was underneath the ring, and Milla eliminates her, and wins the women's battle royal. Who gives a shit? It's a pre-show, but good job for Milla. She got the women's battle royal. Who gives a shit? All right, this was decent. It wasn't a decent match, but a good story told. The Major Brothers versus the Revival, and the Revival, they lose. I don't know who got the pinfall. Was it Hawkins or the Ryder? I don't give a shit. But what matters is Kurt Hawkins, 269 straight, 69 matches in a row losing ends, and now the Major Brothers are tag team champions. Are they transitional champions, or are they going to be booked long term? I don't know. Put in the comments what the fuck you are going to think. And next match, Andre Joint Memorial Battle Royal. Um, uh, Colin Jost, Michael Che, those stupid SNL guys are in this match, and all they do is hide underneath the apron, and then when everyone's eliminated, they come back in trying to eliminate Braun Strowman, and then there's a therapist trying to talk him out of beating him up, and then Braun Strowman beats up the therapist, and then he eliminates the SNL guys, and he wins the match. Braun Strowman, you know, Braun Strowman has been booked shitty lately, like for the past couple years. Maybe he'll get back to like main event form, but I don't know. I don't really know. Um, Kicking off the match, you got Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan coming out with Alexa Bliss, and they're posing, and that's a decent moment. And then Paul Heyman comes on and he says, "If my client's not in the main event, we're gonna go to Vegas." And that's kind of, I don't know if it is, but it may be a hint of Double or Nothing in the AEW Double or Nothing. The WWE have taken a lot of shots on AEW, and I love it because AEW is gonna fail. All they have is Chris Jericho and a bunch of indie jobbers. At least the WWE have a lot of talent. Like they have like 12 or 15 guys that are better than some indie jobbers. Yeah. Seth Rollins gets attacked outside the ring before the match even starts. He gets back in the match. Seth Rollins gets Germaned a lot, decent amount. So Seth Rollins is in a German, and then they push into the referee. Referee gets knocked out. Seth Rollins punches Brock in the balls, and Brock's down, and then it took 3 curb stomps to pin Brock Lesnar, and we got a new Universal Champion. Decent match, not really a decent match, but it told a story, that Seth Rollins would die to keep the title on Raw, And, it took 3 curve stomps to the head and a punch to the balls to get new Universal Champion. New Universal Champion, Seth Rollins. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. The Indies versus WWE. A grudge match feud. Um, I'm not really a technical guy, but, this was a decent match. AJ Styles won with a phenomenal forearm, and, good match. Not the best match of all time, obviously. And, yeah. 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 Okay, SmackDown Tag Team title match. Um, Aleister Black and Ricochet versus the Usos, The Bar, and Rusev and Nakamura. Decent match. These guys know how to perform except Ricochet because all he does is flips. Um, all these guys know how to perform. Nakamura did okay. Rusev did okay. The Bar, they were very fluent. Um, the Usos won with a double splash onto, I think, Cesaro or Sheamus or whatever. I have bad memory, guys. And the Usos retained their tag team championships. Shane McMahon versus The Miz over The Miz. Shane McMahon stabbing The Miz's back at Fastlane. And this was a decent match. They went into the crowd. It ended with a superplex on top from like the camera angle. The camera was there, and then the superplex on from the structure. Miz did it, but turns out Shane covered him 1, 2, 3, and Shane wins. This was one that nobody saw that happen, But Shane loses a lot at Mania, so this is his second straight win. His first one was with Bryan, so Shane got the win. But man, I don't know if this storyline is gonna continue or not. So next one, Women's Tag Team Championship match. Samoan Slaughterhouse, whatever, Tamina and Nia Jax. Tamina's the Ricochet. She's like the Ricochet of the women. She's useless. Like, she's shit. Nia Jax, the Iconics, Sasha Banks and Bailey, and Beth Phoenix and Natalia. Honestly, Bret Hart coming out. I feel bad for Bret Hart. Obviously, what happened in the Hall of Fame ceremony. That asshole, that MMA fighter. He should go stay in jail and get, what he gets when he drops the soap. And I don't know, this was a decent match. Happy the Iconics won, because they're a real tag team. They're good. They get some heat, obviously, but, they deserve the tag team belts because they were a real tag team. They didn't split like Sasha and Bailey. They stayed as a tag team for, like, a long time in NXT. And, the titles are going back to SmackDown, so, cool. Championship match time. So, WWE Championship match between Kofi and Daniel Bryan. And, fucked up the show. You got this guy. Daniel Bryan's small, but at least he had he had a real fan base. His movement wasn't over a couple months. It started August all the way to April. That's a decent jump. That's 2013. So 2013 area all the way to April 2014. That's very long. That's decent. But Kofi's pop was when Mustafa Ali got hurt and Kofi won a fucking few gauntlets. That's stupid, Kofi's not a championship material. I hope it's a short-term title reign. The match was shit, because Kofi won and it was stupid. And the rest of the New Day, they took down Rowan, and then Kofi won with Trouble in Paradise, and he won, and his kids came in the ring, and this match was okay, but Kofi, why the fuck is he a champion? He looks so goofy. He looks, nicest championship match. Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe. Mysterio had that injury. I think it was an ankle injury, and it didn't take that long. It was a squash match that you can see on Raw, or even freaking main event before Raw or SmackDown. So, I got my prediction right. So I said Joe would win, and he would win into a 619 converted into a Kikita clutch. Link down below to prove me right. Yeah, Joe won, and this was a squash match. This was obviously the worst match that night. It was obviously it couldn't go that long. This was like the 2012 Mania match with Bryan and Sheamus. It only took 11 seconds. This took like barely, almost 30 seconds of time. I don't really know, but we couldn't see Dominic. That sucked. And yeah, next match: Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre obviously making fun of Roman for his leukemia and stuff, saying you shouldn't have survived and stuff. So they had an okay match. Roman won with a spear. Everyone's happy. Roman's getting over now because he came back from cancer, and they're not going to shove. He made event. I think Roman could. Roman and McIntyre should like compete for the Universal title on Money in the Bank. That would be a decent match. Elias for the entertainment. I'm happy there wasn't a stupid pop band. So this was actually Elias. He did he had two people on the jumbotron, himself, and then himself playing guitar. And then guess who comes up? The Doctor Thugonomics. John Cena makes his return as the Doctor Thugonomics gimmick, and he roasts Elias, and then he gives Elias the he punches him in the face with his like knuckles, and you can't see me, and then the FU, and then, great segment, great moments. As much as people hate John Cena, when he was a rapper, people liked him. He got over as a rapper, and then once he became a guy that like buried people, and he even referenced that, and that was cool. That was funny. John Cena. He's funny. He's a funny guy. As much as I didn't like him, as like I always said boo to John Cena and stuff, even though I was a younger kid, he's still he's a Hall of Famer for sure, but he's not one of the best. I'm just saying. Alright. Triple H versus Batista. This was the match of the night. It was aggressive. There was chair shots to the back, there was through the table, there was ripping off nose rings, it was a decent match. Sledgehammer, Pedigree, Batista Bomb, Spears, Spine Busters. Great match. Shawn Michaels in commentary was decent. You can't ask for anything better. It was a good match, and people knew Triple H was gonna win, but this was a good match. Batista's last match, pretty damn good, like A+ match. I think it told a story, and Ric Flair was there, and pretty damn good. Corbin versus Angle. At the beginning, this match sucked. At the end, the match was getting pace. Angle did the Angle slam. Thought it was over. 1-2, 1-2 kick out Corbin, and then Angle locks. Thought it was over, and then Corbin won with the end of days, and he sended he sended Kurt Angle packing, and then Kurt Angle made a farewell speech, and that was pretty cool. Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor. Just buried Bobby Lashley like bad, man. He got barely any offense. Finn Balor was just like, he looked like a kid high on sugar running around, and then he was like stomping and stomping, and then he did the coup de grace, or whatever the fuck he calls it, and then he won the Intercontinental title. I knew he was, I got a lot of these matches wrong, but why would I pick against guys I don't like? So Finn Balor's new Intercontinental Champion. A really pointless Bobby Lashley winning it on that Raw. Very, very pointless. And it wasn't. It was a shitty storyline. The match was a squash match. This was one of the bad matches. That in the Rey Mysterio match was just bad. Main event time. This was a decent match. A decent match. I thought there was gonna be chairs, but no chairs. They looked aggressive. Charlotte was bleeding. The table was bent. It wasn't even put through. And at the end, Charlotte was at the end of the ring, and then um, Ronda rolled her up, but turns out her shoulders are down. 1, 2, 3, and Becky Lynch is the undisputed women's champion. And yeah, this was Mania. I thought it was a decent show. B minus. I'm not a biased guy. That was my PS4. I'm not a biased guy. It comes to WWE. Some of this shit's good. Some of this shit's bad. That's all wrestling. That's all wrestling. And there's only four pro wrestling companies, pro sports entertainment companies, whatever. There's TNA when it was good. There's WWE, WCW, and ECW. Now, the rest are indie garbage that nobody likes. Okay, like CCW looks disgusting. Ring of Honor's boring. It's nothing but wrestling. New Japan, you can't understand shit. And AEW is going to be like that. It's going to be the same thing with Chris Jericho. He's going to be the only good fucking wrestler there. And other than that, decent show, not bad. Other than the Bobby Lashley match, the Rey Mysterio match, and the rest are good. Rest were good matches. Those were my least favorite matches, and maybe the women's tag team match, outside of the Iconics winning. Um, it was a decent show. Um, it's decent. Yeah, there's gonna be negatives almost every Mania, but there's a lot of positives. And and the cruiserweight match, because no one gave a shit about the cruiserweight match. I didn't even see it. Even all these nerds are probably gonna say it was a 50-star match, but no, I didn't see shit. So cruiserweight match probably garbage. And other than that, Bonnie Sports Network Wrestling signing out. Decent Mania, and see you tomorrow for Raw in Brooklyn. The beach balls are gonna be real.